Hey everyone, today we'll be doing a mobility flow for your spine and hips. To get started, we will be needing a foam roller for a lot of these exercises. So let's get started. If you don't have one yet, press pause and then press play once you've got it. All right, first exercise is a thoracic extension. So we're just going to be placing this foam roller on the lower aspect of our ribs. So this is just kind of in the mid-back region. Place both your feet on the floor, hips remain on the floor, lean back, get the head to touch the floor, and hands overhead. Now, if you can't get your head to touch the floor, it's fine to use a pillow until you get some more mobility. From here, we're just going to breathe in now a few times, just let those muscles relax over that foam roller. And pay attention to the areas of stress that you're experiencing. Ideally, when you're in this position, you're going to get the back of your wrist resting on the floor as well. But if your arms are up in the air, just let them hang and let gravity kind of stretch out your back muscles. After about 4 to 6 breaths, we're going to just kind of scooch down a tiny bit to get that foam roller moving a little bit higher up. And we're just going to repeat, just starting off nice and easy. Breathe into the mobility. For these types of things, it's not really ideal to force your way through range of motion. Just let it organically open up as you relax your muscles into these deep ranges of motion. This exercise is really good for thoracic extension, something that's really missing in a lot of people's daily lives, especially if you're hunched over at your computer. All right, let's scooch that foam roller a little higher up. At this point, the foam roller is right between your shoulder blades. Arching your back, keep those hips planted on the floor. If you want a deeper stretch, you could open up your palms and point your fingers away from your body, stretching out that way as well. If not, it's also fine to just relax as well. After a few breaths, we're just going to go to one more location. Get that foam roller at the tops of your shoulder blades at this point. Head back, arms back. You're just reaching and you're just stretching. Breathe into it. Feel the stretch in your chest. Feel in your abs. Feel your ribs expand as you take a deep breath in. And exhale through your mouth. Make sure to take a deep breath in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. All right, now we're going to flip the script. We're just going to go the exact opposite direction. We're going to go into a modified child's pose position. This exercise is also known as the prayer stretch. Hands on the outer edges of that foam roller. You're going to roll it forward, sit back onto your heels with your bum, and bring that chest down towards the floor. If you want to get deeper, you can lift your heels, or you can lift your bum off your heels. Bring that chest a little bit closer to the floor. You'll feel this in the upper back and shoulders. Take a few breaths in, breathe out, come back up, and we're going to do this about 5 times just to kind of deepen that range of motion in the upper back and shoulder region. Deep breath in, and breathe out through your mouth. Take a few breaths, back out, pull back up. We're going to go for 2 more today. If you want to do more, by all means, good. Feel this muscle stretch, feel them expand, and stretch with every breath that you take. And feel yourself engaging that parasympathetic nervous system to get all your muscles to relax. Come back up. We're going to go for 1 more. If you feel some pinching in the shoulders while you're doing this exercise, just go a little bit wider with your hands. Stretch down, open up that chest, stretch your fingers forwards, get your bum as far away from your hands as possible, just so you can elongate that spine while you're doing this exercise. And then come back up. Next, we're going to use the foam roller to support our leg, lying down on your side. We're going to be kind of going to this hugging position with our foam roller. Our bottom arm stretch out to the front. We're going to have our palms overlapping each other. And without lifting your leg off the foam roller, you're going to rotate back, reaching forward as you can. You feel the lower back and mid-back muscle stretch. Take a few breaths in, and then come back forwards. We're going to do about 5 repetitions of this. Once again, and breathe. As you breathe in and out through your nose and then mouth, feel your muscles just relax. We're going to go for 2 more repetitions, and then we're going to do another variation. Breathe, stretch your fingers out. You want to have your fingers elongating away from each other just to get as big of a wingspan as possible while you're doing this exercise. Think about expanding your body as much as possible. And come back in. Next, we're going to do something similar, but your hand is just going to do a windmill motion, sweeping the floor above you until we reach that same end range. This is just going to get your scapula more involved. This one, we're not going to really hold. We're just going to do the sweeping motion back and forth. Good, just to kind of get your shoulder nice and warmed up. And moving once again. I'll go for 2 more here. Sweep back. And move. If you find that you have restrictions in your neck, it's fine to keep your neck in a more neutral position. But if possible, look at where your hand ends up going. And we're just going to repeat this same process for the other side. So switching sides now. We're going to lie down on your opposite side. Keep that foam roller supporting your thigh. Hands clasped together to start. Rotate back and see if your one side is tighter than the other. A lot of us will have more difficulty on one side than the other. If not, that's brilliant. If one side is nice and flexible and the other is not so much, and really make sure you're trying to get that leg staying on top of that foam roller. If you want to slow down the motion, you can. You can take a few breaths here if you're really enjoying that stretch. You can also do this exercise a little bit more dynamically by just going in and out multiple times. Just go with the flow and see where your body responds to the best. If you take your time, that tends to be a little bit better. I'm gonna go for 1 more repetition here. Stretch back and do the thoracic open book. Try to keep that thigh rested on the foam roller. You feel the expansion of your muscles in the low back and mid back. Next, we're going to do the windmills, sweep of the floor. And this one we're just going to go in and out of. And do about 5 repetitions of this as well. Get your shoulder blade involved in your mobility. The thoracic spine has a very intimate relationship with your shoulder blade and therefore your shoulder. It's really important to teach your body how to use all these 3 areas together so that you have the mobility to do all of your activities easily. And then back over. Great. Next, we're going to move on to rolling out our latissimus dorsi muscle. It's one of the largest muscles in our upper back. So next, we're going to lie down sideways. We're going to find a tender spot just under our armpit towards the back angle of our body. From here, you're going to start with your palm face down on the floor, thumbs facing towards your toes. You're just going to sweep the floor just like in a windmill while rotating your palm face up, reaching as far back as you can, keeping that torso stationary, and then you're going to come back down, sweep once again. We're going to do about 5 repetitions here. You're going to feel that muscle will have a few tender spots or tender points. And we'll go for 1 more repetition here. All right, and we're just going to find another spot here, a little higher or lower depending on where your first one was, and we're going to do another 5, nice and easy. So you don't want to really be rushing through this exercise because it is a self-massage exercise. Helps to loosen up your back, your shoulders, opens up your range of motion. This is a pin and stretch technique where we're pinning the muscle and we're stretching it out. All right, and we're just going to do the opposite arm as well, even out that body of ours. Side here. Starting with your thumb down, palm face down as well. Open up that arm, reach as far back as possible, and coming back down, nice and easy. When you're reaching back, try to go as far as possible. Really feel that stretch in your lat. And remember, your lat is not just in your armpit. It actually attaches into the pelvis of your low back through the thoracolumbar fascia. So it's really important to realize that when you're targeting this muscle in general, that you're feeling it throughout the whole entire lat. So feel that stretch, reach back. We're going to go for one more repetition. And we're going to find another tender spot, higher or lower, depending on where you started. You can do this for up to 3 to 4 tender spots. Try not to repeat the same spot, as it can just make your muscles feel a little too tender or bruised. Reaching back, come back forwards, one more. And back forwards. Next, we're going to be targeting the muscles of the low back. We're going to be now placing the foam roller right to the low back region in a seated position, one leg straight. We're going to have one leg bent. We're going to hug this bent leg just with our arms, and we're going to use it to help us leverage ourselves over this foam roller. From here, we're just going to rotate a little bit until we find a tender spot. And once we find it, we're just going to sit there and breathe for about 30 seconds. The goal is to just get the muscle to relax. You don't want to pulverize the muscle, which a lot of people try to do when they're foam rolling. But if the goal of the muscle is to get it to loosen up, then relaxation is key. You don't want to be going so hard that you tense up instead. Switch sides after about 20 to 30 seconds. Find a spot. Hold it nice and tight. And breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're going to move that foam roller a little lower or higher on our back by scooching lower. Rotate, hold the position. And we're going to repeat this just one more time on each side, just for 30 seconds or so. When you're doing this exercise, make sure you're keeping the intensity moderate to low, so you're not going to reach that 6 or 7 out of 10 pain. Instead, keep it at like a 4 or 5, because once again, the main goal is just to relax during this exercise. Great. Next, we'll be rolling out our hips. So we're going to start by just sitting on it. Reach back with one arm, the opposite leg planted on the floor with your foot, the opposite foot now placed on the knee, and you're just going to rotate the body until you find a tender spot on your glute. From there, you can roll up or down and then hold. Now, a lot of people will just roll back and forth, but the problem with this is that they don't let that foam roller penetrate deeper into the glute muscle. By rolling back and forth really rapidly, you really only keep that massage very superficial, and that won't really give you as much longer lasting relief. Once you've held that for about 20-30 seconds, let's find another spot, and we'll hold that for another 20 to 30 seconds. Once again, pay attention to your breathing. If you're holding your breath because of the intensity of the massage, you're putting too much weight, so it's best to angle your body away from the pressure. And we're just going to repeat this for the other side. So the exact same, but opposite. Other hand on the floor. Going to place our ankle on our knee. Rotate the body until we find a tender spot. Roll until we find a tender spot, and then just hold. We're gonna hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds. Great. Feel another spot. Pay attention to that muscle. If you're getting referral pain down that leg, that's okay. Referral pain only happens if a muscle is very tight and you apply extra pressure to them. But you should find that if it's causing referral pain, that referral pain eases off towards the end of that 30-second count. All right. Hey everyone, that wraps up our mobility routine for the day. You can do this routine once or twice daily and every day of the week, especially if you are an office worker and you need some good old TLC for your spine and hips. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all next time. Bye.